Hey guys, this is Miss Smith again. We are going to do percent of a number tonight. Okay, let's start off with modeling. Okay, if you had a model, this is a 10 by 10 model because your side lengths are 10 and your area is 100. Okay, so when we have a model that's out of 100, we know we can be talking about percents. Okay, so if I have 75 squares shaded, that means I have 75 hundredths or 75% shaded. Okay, I'm going to come back to this model, so I want you to take a visual picture. Okay, so let's go to what we're going to be doing tonight. What if I gave you 100 sweet tarts and you ate 23 of them? What percent did you eat? Or how many would you color out of a 100 square? You would color 23, and it would be 23% because percent means what? Percent means hundredths. Very good. Okay, because you had 23 out of 100, and percent is always out of 100, or means, very good, hundredths. Okay, hundredths. Awesome. Okay, first question. This is kind of what we're going to be going off tonight. What is 23% of 100? How many would you shade in a square model? A 10 by 10 square model. How many do you think you would shade? Okay, very good. You would shade 23. Because before, we shaded 75 because 75% out of 100. So we would shade 23 if it was 23% of 100. Okay? This goes into, what if we had not a square 100 model? Okay? What if we didn't have a 10 by 10 model and the area was 100? What if we didn't? Okay? So if we did not have a percent or a decimal that was out of 100, this is called, let me get this straight. There we go. What if we have a percent that is not out of 100? Okay? This is called percent of a number. This is called percent of a number. Okay? We have to take a percent of a number that is not out of 100 sometimes. So it's not out of a 10 by 10 square. Okay? In this case, I want us to read this together. Percent of a number. Okay? Now, of, I want you to always remember, of means in this case that we're multiplying. So tonight, all we're doing is multiplying. Okay? So the main thing you have to remember about tonight is of means multiply, because that's the operation we are doing tonight. Okay? Here we go. Next one. For example, okay, what is my total here? My total is not 100, so this is percent of a number. Okay? What is 25% of 50? Okay? I'm going to play you the song. I know everyone knows this song. Let me see if I can get it. Here we go. Okay. Beyonce is singing. I think you would rather have her sing than me. But I just want to remind you of the song. I think everybody knows that song. So Beyonce's singing it, and it says, to the left, to the left. Okay? Now I see the word left twice. So this means we're going to Dr. Pepper. Okay? So first, we have to change. You never, ever, ever, ever can multiply by percent. Ever. You always have to change it to a decimal before. So here's our steps. You have to move your decimal to the left. How many times do you think? Very good. You got to move it twice. Okay? So we're doing exactly what Miss Hitchcock taught us last week about Dr. Pepper, about moving our percent to a decimal. So with percent of a number, you just need to remember the song Beyonce. Okay? So we're starting with a percent here. Okay, because 25% of 50. So we're going to the left twice. So I'm changing my percent to a decimal. So how would I change 25% to a decimal? Okay, my decimal is always at the back of the number. So I'm going to move it to the left twice. So this becomes 25 hundredths. Okay, so now I have my decimal. So now I'm ready to multiply. So all you got to do is 25 hundredths or 50 longer. Remember, we're multiplying decimals now. Okay? Okay, they're the same. So it doesn't matter who you put on top. Okay, so it's 50 times 0.25. Now, for time's sake tonight, I am going to let you do this. So pause me every time we do a problem. But this video would be forever long if I went step by step with you on how to multiply decimals. So all I'm going to do is give you the answer. So if you want to try it by yourself, which I recommend, actually do it by yourself, and then pause me and then come back and I'm going to give you the answer. So what we're doing is we're moving our decimal 2 times to the left and then multiplying by the number. So percent of means multiply by our number. Okay, so pause me, work it out. Okay, welcome back. Your answer is 12, should be 12.5, okay? 12.5, so that's my answer, okay? 25% of 50 is 12 and 5 tenths, okay? Let's go on to the next one. Let's try some more. Okay, this means percent of means multiply a number. So all we're doing is multiplying today. Very easy, you guys. Okay, so first, my first step is I have to change my percent to a decimal. So how would I change? We're using Dr. Pepper, okay? And you're going to think of Beyonce when you think of percent of a number. So we're going to move it how many times? Twice. Very good. So my decimal's at the back of the 5 right here. Okay, back of the 5, so we're going to move it 1, 2. Here's our invisible 0. Okay, the 5's in the hundredths place, so I know I did it right. Okay, so now you have 80 times, I need to line up my numbers. 80 times 5 hundredths. Okay, pause me, work it out. Okay, welcome back. Your answer at the very end, after all your work you just did, your answer should have been 4. Okay, should have been 4. Very good. Or 4.00 means the same thing. So you should have got 4. Very good. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, we're almost done. Bear with me. We're almost done. Okay, so we have percent of means multiply a number. So all we're doing is Dr. Pepper. Okay, every time you probably need to write this, so you're going to do Dr. Pepper. So I need to change 20% to a decimal. Again, you never, ever, 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 ever can multiply by a percent. You always got to change it to a decimal first and then multiply. Okay, so I'm going to move it twice. Okay, 20 has a decimal at the end. So we're going to move it 2 times over. So now I have 2 tenths or 20 hundredths to multiply by 155. Who goes on top when we're multiplying decimals? Very good, the longer number. So who's longer? 2 tenths or 155? Very good, 155 is longer. So you're going to line up your numbers when you multiply decimals. Okay, I don't need this 0. That just makes more work for me because you know that 2 tenths is also the same thing as 20 hundredths. So what I'm going to do is just put my decimal here and multiply like this. And then, of course, I'm going to move it once like you know how to multiply. Okay, so pause me, and I will give you the answer in just a second. So work it out and pause me. I'm about to give you the answer. Okay, welcome back. You should have got 31 as your answer. Okay, very good. Okay, now, we're going to do some examples of real-life problems. I'm sure if your parents are watching right now, they know all about this stuff, and you will too when you get older, okay? And you'll probably start noticing it after this lesson today. Okay, so every time you buy something at the store, you are taxed, okay? No one likes to be taxed. The government taxed us, okay? So you are taxed 8% every time you buy something, okay? The state of Texas taxes 8%. Okay, every time you buy something, they take 8% of your bill and give it to the government. Okay, so let's say you buy a jumbo Snickers bar for $1.54 and you are taxed. Okay, how much does the state of Texas tax you? Very good, 8%. So you were taxed 8%. So how much did you spend on tax? Okay, so this is a real life problem that this means percent of a number. Okay, I want to know what 8% of $1.54 is. Okay. If you ever go to the dollar store, you always have to bring more than $1 because this is why you can't bring $1 to the dollar store. It will really cost you $1.08 total once you pay because 8% of $1, you're going to end up paying $1.08, okay, because you're being taxed. No one can buy anything in Texas without having this on their bill every time they buy something, no matter where it is, Walmart, Target, wherever. Okay, so here, what would I put for in front of the percent sign? Very good. You're going to put 8% of means multiply of $1.54. Okay, so 8% of $1.54. Now, I want you to set it up. Okay, we're going to change this to a decimal first, and then I want you to set it up and work it out, pause me, and come back and see if you got the right answer. But first, let's change our percent. So we're going to do Dr. Pepper. So my decimal is at the back of your 8. okay, at the back of the number. How many times am I going to move it to the left, Okay, yeah, Beyonce's way better than me. But we're going to move it how many times? Okay, 1, 2. Very good. Invisible 0. So now I have 8 hundredths times $1.54. Who would go on top? Very good, the longer number, because we're multiplying by decimals. Remember my other video. Okay, so you have $1.54 times 8 hundredths. Okay, I want you to pause me. Remember to always put your how many decimals you have to the right, because you're gonna add it in the end, so you're gonna move it 4 times in the end after you do all your multiplication. Okay, what do we get? Pause me and come back. All right, welcome back. Okay, now you're gonna get 123 thousandths. Okay, Miss Smith, that looks really weird. I think I got the wrong answer. You did not, because what place value is this in? What do we do money? Okay, the hundredths place. So this will be about, because this sign means about, you're going to be taxed about 12 cents, because I'm going to round. So you're going to be taxed about 12% on this. Okay? Alright, remember, write down questions for tomorrow, because I know this is a little more complicated than the other videos, but if you just stay with me or rewind me, you'll be good. Okay, next one. Okay, we have this one and then one more and then we're done. Okay, every time you go eat out with your family, you can tip your waitress. Okay, if you have older brothers and sisters, they might work at a restaurant. They rely on tips to make money. Okay, whenever you go out to eat with your family, your parents will probably tip if your waitress does a good job. Okay, so it is polite to always give your waitress a little money for serving you. Or waiter, sorry, waiter or waitress. Okay, normally you would tip 15% of your bill, or 20% depending on the service, or depending on how much money you got. Okay, so 15 or 20% of your total is the norm. So let's say your family goes out to eat to Olive Garden for some good Italian food. Okay, it's my favorite place, by the way. Okay, your dad pays, and the total before the tip is $35.76. The waitress was a great server, or the waiter, sorry. The waitress or the waiter was a great server, so he wants to tip 20%. Okay? Now, so what do I get out of this? Okay, I have my total here, how much my bill is, and how much I want. 20% of $35.76. So you want 20% of $35.76. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to change our percent to a decimal. I think you should know how to do this by now. Decimals at the back, Dr. Pepper, twice. Okay, who goes on top? $35.76 or 2/10 or 20 hundredths. Who goes on top? Very good, the longer number. Okay, so 35.76 times, remember, it's probably easier if you can take off that 0. Okay, and then you just put how many you have to the right, how many you have, so you're going to move it 3 times over. This is from my last video. Okay, so pause me and let's see what we get. Okay, welcome back. Okay, after all the work you did here, okay, you should have gotten, here, let me write it up here. You should have gotten $7, 152 thousandths. Okay, whenever you get a number like this, guys, you're only going to the hundredths place, okay, because that's how we view money. So if I round, I'm going to tip about $17.15. This goes away because we don't visualize money in the thousandths place. It only goes to the hundredths. So you always can round. So now I have $7.15. My waiter's making money. Okay? All right, one more. This is the last one, and then I'm going to have you try one by yourself to bring to class tomorrow. So I know you watched the video, and don't forget to submit in the end. Okay? You did not study for your integer test and ended up getting in 58%. Yikes. There were 25 questions total. How many did you get right or correct out of 25? So what's my total? Percent of my total. Okay? You got a 58% and there were 25 questions. So I want to know what 58% of 25 is. This is how I do your grades every day. Okay? So you got a 58% of 25 questions. Okay? And this equals y. We're going to figure out what y equals. Okay, Y just means we don't know what the answer is yet. Okay, letters just mean it represents a number. We just don't know what it is yet. Okay, so I'm going to move my decimal. Okay, I hope you know this by now. Move your decimal twice. So now it doesn't matter which one goes on top because they're the same length. They have the same digits. Okay, so this is going to be 25 times 58 hundredths. Okay, there's 2 places. So you're going to have 2 places to move in the end once you do all your work. Okay, pause me, do it. Let's see if we get an answer. Okay, welcome back. This is also a good review on how to multiply decimals, by the way. Okay, so I ended up getting 14 and 5/10. Okay, or 14 and 50 hundredths if you put a 0. Okay, this means that I got about 14 or 15 questions right. Okay, 14 or 15 questions right. Because we're talking about questions, I don't think you do half of a question. So this means 14 or 15 questions right. Okay? Alright guys, I know this has been a long video. Thank you so much for listening. I want you to try this one at home. Bring it tomorrow. And I know y'all are going to have questions. It might be a little confusing. This is probably the hardest video yet. So if you have any questions, please write them down, and we're going to go over in detail this tomorrow. We're going to do a lot of practice. What I want you to do is try this one for tomorrow and bring it, and we're going to check it as our warm-up. All right, y'all have a great night. Thank you.